Today we're going to be looking at another type of learning theory dealing with observation. Observational learning is defined as learning by observing others. It's also called social learning. Sometimes you'll see them refer to observational learning as social learning, so it's important to understand that that's what it's talking about. One of the main terms associated with observational learning is modeling. This is the process of observing and imitating a specific behavior. As you can see in the illustration, this girl has obviously either been spanked or she has witnessed or observed someone else being spanked, and she is imitating that behavior on her baby doll. Kind of a little aggressive example. Sometimes you see little kids playing with dolls and rocking them and feeding them and burping them, putting them in a blanket or a diaper, just like they have observed the grown-ups do. So anytime you see a person or an animal imitate a behavior after observing it, it's referred to as modeling. This is also another example taken from the book where this child is watching someone on the television do a demonstration, and then later they are given the same objects and are imitating the behavior that was modeled. One concept associated with observational learning is called mirror neurons. They are frontal lobe neurons that fire when performing certain actions or when observing others doing so. The brain's mirroring of another action may enable imitation and also empathy. So in the illustration here, you actually see images from a PET scan, positron emission tomography. And the brain here on the left is of a person that's actually experiencing pain. The brain you see here on the right shows active regions in the very similar locations witnessing someone experience the pain. These are kind of these sympathy or empathy pains. And so our frontal lobe neurons will fire either when you are enduring the pain, experiencing the pain, or when you are observing another person that's in pain. Your brain doesn't really understand if it's something you're actually experiencing or something you are observing. This holds true for other emotions as well, but they can actually monitor the brain activity and find that those regions are identical in terms of where the activity takes place. One famous psychologist is a man by the name of Albert Bandura. He needs to be associated with observational learning and his famous Bobo doll experiment. And if you were to click on the PowerPoint and actually watch the video, you would see that Albert Bandura established an experiment where one group of children watched an adult physically beat a Bobo doll, which is an inflatable toy that has a weight at the bottom that you can knock down. The original Bobo dolls were clowns, but sometimes today you'll see them in SpongeBob characters or superhuman or superhero characters. And the child actually watches the adult physically punch the Bobo doll, verbally be aggressive towards the Bobo doll. And then what they do is they put the child in a room filled with toys, including the Bobo doll. And they are curious to see whether or not they gravitate towards the Bobo doll and if in fact they imitate the modeled behavior of aggression. Well, they also have a control group in which the children are brought into the same room filled with toys, even including the Bobo doll. But yet they did not watch the video of the adult being aggressive towards the Bobo doll. And the results really indicated that those who watched the aggressive behavior being modeled imitated the aggressive behavior towards the Bobo doll. And the children in the control condition that didn't witness the modeled aggressive behavior were not as likely to play with the Bobo doll or be as aggressive with it. So it really demonstrates how we are affected by observational learning. There are different kinds of modeling. One we call prosocial. And we know that there are all kinds of people in our life, whether it's parents, grandparents, friends, siblings, teachers, coaches, that model positive, constructive, helpful behavior that helps shape who we are and influence our lives in a positive way. We also see antisocial modeling, whether it's on television or with those same people. Maybe it's siblings or parents or friends. And we find that sometimes, in fact, we will imitate behavior that's not constructive, that's not positive, that can bring about negative results. And that's what antisocial modeling is. So this was a quick one. That was it for this screencast.